working on a Simplex steam locomotive. Part 25, a riveting experience. After accurately drilling the many holes around the front and rear of the smoke box, I make sure that the door hinge on the front of the smoke box ring is perfectly vertical. I also make a simple jig for trimming the rivets to length. In this clip you will notice that I have a piece of steel bar through the hinge mountings on the front of the smoke box ring. And I also have the petticoat pipe and the chimney fitted in place. Why is this? I've already drilled quite a lot of 3/32 of an inch diameter holes in the smoke box barrel. And before I drill the holes through into the front smoke box ring, I need to make sure everything is in line. By using this small piece of bar, it allows me to sight up the position of the chimney with the smoke box hinge brackets. I'm making a mark with a felt tip pen, initially on the ring and later on the barrel, and this is to make sure that nothing moves out of alignment before I drill the holes for the rivets. And speaking of rivets, here they are. I didn't have much choice in the length of the 3/32 rivets. It was a choice of 1/2 inch rivets which are too long or 1/4 inch rivets which are too short. In this clip I'm very carefully tapping the smoke box ring into the correct position. I'm using the wooden shaft of a hammer to do this. And I'm also making sure that the position of the ring does not move out of alignment with the marks that are made on the smoke box barrel. It's time now to drill the first hole through into the smoke box ring. I'm starting underneath because this is the part that's not going to be very visible. Initially I'm using the same drill bit that I used to drill the holes. So I drilled a couple of the holes, and after drilling the holes it was time to fit the rivets to see how well they fitted. But before doing that I brushed away all the swarf, using an old paintbrush that I keep by the drilling machine. When I fitted the first 2 rivets they were a little bit loose, so I thought it would be a good idea to use a smaller drill, and the drill of choice was 2.4mm. How did I arrive at that? Is it my years of experience? No. I just typed 332 to mm into Google and it gave me the answer. And 2.4mm was the nearest drill bit that I had. Once I found out that the rivets were a good fit in the holes, I could now drill all the way round. And to avoid the risk of any viewers falling asleep in the video, I've speeded up this operation. This video clip is now running at 800% or 8 times normal speed. And by doing this I can complete what is normally quite a long and tedious job in a very short space of time. I'm having to be very careful when I drill the holes where the crossbar supports are. 2 rivets in this area will be fitted with Loctite 603. Eventually the job is completed. And here back on the bench you can clearly see that the rivets are far too long. I could just snip them off with a pair of side cutters. That would actually work quite well. But as this is a tutorial video, I thought I would show you an idea I had for shortening the rivets in multiple quantities. I quickly scribed 12 lines on a piece of 1/4 inch square steel bar. Then I cut another piece of square bar to be exactly the same length. My plan is to drill a hole on each of the lines and insert a 1/2 inch rivet in each of the holes. I needed to make it so I could screw these 2 pieces of 1/4 inch square steel together using a bolt. And in this clip I'm drilling all the way through both of them in one operation using a 1/8 of an inch diameter drill bit. You will notice that I'm not using a centre drill. Instead what I'm doing is tapping the drill bit onto the work, which makes a centre point mark, and then when I apply the pressure the drill doesn't wander about, it goes through the steel. In this clip I'm enlarging the holes in one of the pieces of steel to be clearance size for 4BA. In the other piece of steel, it's tapping size for 4BA. The clearance size is 9/64 of an inch in diameter. Now I need to tap the holes in one of the pieces of bar 4BA. I've applied some oil, this is a 4BA tap, and I'm very carefully going through the hole. The clip that you've just watched was running at twice normal speed. I threaded this one in exactly the same way. So now I'm in a position to be able to bolt these 2 pieces of steel bar together. And as I was videoing this part of the job, it did occur to me that maybe I could sandwich all of the rivets in between the 2 pieces of steel bar. So as you can see here, before tightening up the 2 bolts at each end, I put lots of rivets in between the bars. This was not successful. I repeat, this was not successful. It was impossible to clamp all of the rivets in between the 2 pieces of steel. But never mind, you live and learn, so I went back to plan A and drilled holes on the marks that I made on the steel earlier on in the video, after which I tightened the 2 bolts. This was successful and held the rivets perfectly in position. The problem is though, I need the rivets to be slightly more than 1/4 inch, and the steel bars are 1/4 inch. But I did think about this before I shot the video. I didn't fancy milling a piece of steel to the precise length that I needed. I could have drilled a single hole in a piece of steel plate the right thickness, and one at a time I could have chopped off the rivets using a chisel. But this method means I can work on 12 at once. All I did was use a pair of side cutters on each of the rivets, and this method left the rivets just over 1/4 inch in length. The holes are drilled all the way through the front ring, so now it's time to rivet. The normal way to rivet for me is to put a rivet snap in the vise like this, but for this job it's not ideal. There are a couple of good reasons why I'm not going to do it this way. The smokebox ring at the front is stepped inside, as you can see here. And because the internal diameter of this smokebox is quite small, there's not much room to swing the hammer, and most of the hammer blows are not hitting the rivet head anyway. Doing it this way is going to be a long and very tedious job. But never mind, dear viewer, help is at hand. Find yourself a piece of steel like this and bend the end of it, and clamp it very tightly in the vise jaws, in such a position that the smokebox sits on top of the jaws. And here I think you probably get the idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the rivet snap on the outside, but first of all it's very important to position the rivet right in the centre of the piece of steel. Not like this. I'm starting on the underside to see what it's going to be like, and if I make a mess of this it doesn't matter because you can't see it when it's fitted to the engine. Initially, while doing this riveting job, I'm only putting enough pressure on the rivet head to make it seat in the hole. And once I have rivets all the way around the edge of the smokebox, I will go around the job again and tighten them up by hitting them one more time with the rivet snap. This rivet is about the right length, maybe a fraction long, but watch what happens. The holes at the bottom of this smokebox were the first ones that I drilled, and they were a bit too big. Behind the smokebox door hinge supports, the rivets are quite short, and in this case they're fitted with Loctite 603. I'm carrying on with the riveting job, working all the way around, because as I just mentioned, I'm going to go around it all again to tighten all the rivets, but I do need to let the Loctite 603 cure where they go through into the block that supports the crossbar, and this crossbar allows me to lock the smokebox door very tightly to the smokebox itself. In this clip you will notice that some of the rivets are working loose, so they're not securely riveted. They were probably a bit short in the first place. Never mind, it's an easy fix and it's a very common problem. That is it for this episode. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching and hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.